I don't remember that photograph ever being taken. I don't remember going upstairs in the house because that photograph is taken upstairs.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for public figures whose status was devastated by association with one published photo.
I didn't break the law. I didn't do anything wrong. That photo is very much covered by the First Amendment.
Number 20, Perez Hilton. It would take a lot to get the harsh tabloid blogger Perez Hilton in trouble, but he went too far in 2010, just by posting on Twitter a censored upskirt photo of Miley Cyrus. She was still a minor and working for Disney at the time. Threats of criminal charges prompted Hilton to confirm that Myris was wearing underwear and that the photo was meant to entice readers. Still, he made no apology for the deception or to the young pop star. The scandal quietly unraveled the loudmouth's prevalence in the mainstream. Although Perez remains very active, this display of his unscrupulousness turned him from someone you love to hate into a pop culture villain.
Because Miley Cyrus just gave me a present!
Number 19. Sarah Edon. The Miss Universe pageant should represent the beauty in bringing cultures together. Of course, it's hard enough to do so tastefully without Sarah Edon's snafu. The Iraqi-American singer was representing her homeland in 2017 when she posted a photo of herself with Miss Israel, Adar Gondelsman. The caption read, "Peace and love for Miss Iraq and Miss Israel." This noble yet controversial comment, compounded by Miss Universe swimsuit competition, sparked an uproar in Iraq. Edon and her family were eventually forced to settle in the US, where her music career faded into obscurity. Thankfully, Edon has since found new work in entertainment and politics and remains a staunch advocate for peace in the Middle East.
Right then and there, we became like sisters. And I think more than anything, we were eager to show each other the love and support and to let the whole world know we stand for love and peace.
Number 18. Dani Mathers. Playboy Playmate of 2015, Dani Mathers, already represented an unfair pressure on culture. There's certainly no excusing her cruel insult in 2016. Mathers photographed a 71-year-old woman using a shower in an LA Fitness, then shared the image with a friend. It wound up on social media with a derogatory caption.
That was intended for a private conversation that never should have happened.
Besides the backlash over body shaming, the model was charged with unlawful invasion of privacy. She was ultimately sentenced to community service, hit with a restraining order, banned from LA Fitness, and forbidden to post photos without the subject's consent. She was also fired from her radio show and lost work. Years after doing her time, Mathers remains professionally ostracized for her truly ugly behavior.
I'm sorry.
Number 17. Matt Hancock. Personal scandal is bad enough for politicians without it directly contradicting the office's responsibilities. Matt Hancock was burdened with the role of the UK's Secretary of State for Health and Social Care during the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2021, his work was overshadowed by a CCTV still of him kissing Gina Coladangelo, one of his advisors, in his office. The revelation of their extramarital affair, never mind their violation of social distancing guidelines, forced both public health officials to resign. Many of Hancock's colleagues then came forward about his inefficiency and hypocrisy in his highly important position.
Those of us who make these rules have got to stick by them, and that's why I've got to resign.
He and Coladangelo have since left their respective spouses to make their relationship official. Still, it's haunted by an image that especially derailed Hancock's political career. Number 16. Millard Tidings. In his 4 terms as a U.S. Senator from Maryland, Millard Tidings gained a reputation for his outspokenness. His stand against McCarthyism would ultimately be his downfall. When Tidings brought this into his re-election campaign in 1950, Senator Joseph McCarthy's staff released an old photo of the Democrat being friendly with Communist Party leader and Soviet spy Earl Browder. Testimonies and an investigation eventually revealed that the photo was a composite and that Tidings had never met Browder. Nonetheless, the scandal is credited with costing him the election against strident anti-communist John Marshall Butler. Tidings died a pariah 11 years later, representing one of the earliest and cruelest injustices of the Second Red Scare. Number 15. Paul Reubens. Comedian Paul Reubens won hearts of all ages as the zany Pee Wee Herman.
For the rest of the day, whenever anybody says a secret word, scream it loud!
All that stopped in 1991 when he was arrested for indecent exposure at an adult movie theater. The scandal alone was enough to destroy the beloved family entertainer, but there was no unseeing his mugshot for the Sarasota County Sheriff's Department after the press got a hold of it. The long, unkempt hair and disgraced expression couldn't have been further from Pee Wee's clean and happy-go-lucky image. Reubens was exiled for years and revived his career with more mature projects until his passing in 2023. Still, he's forever associated with one of the 90s most shocking entertainment scandals, immortalized by that career and childhood-ruining mugshot.
A lot of people say, oh, isn't that too bad what happened to him, or, you know, we really love him and we feel sorry for him, and free Pee-wee.
Number 14, Peter Norman. People often overlook the subtler gesture in one of the most important images in sports history, as well as its consequences. At the 1968 Summer Olympics, Peter Norman of Australia came in second in the 200-meter running event behind Tommy Smith. He and fellow American John Carlos then became global icons of the civil rights movement by striking the Black Power stance during the medal ceremony. Beside them, the white Norman dons a badge representing the Olympic Project for Human Rights and Solidarity. It's understood that this political act stifled his career back home. Even with his qualifications, he wasn't selected for the '72 Olympics. Australia now recognizes Norman as a national hero for unopposingly standing up for what's right, whatever the professional cost.
It's a wrong that will be put right in tonight's parliamentary apology.
Number 13, Michael Phelps. The most decorated Olympian of all time has long struggled with alcohol use disorder, but it was a different substance that nearly ruined Michael Phelps' swimming career. In 2009, the tabloid News of the World published a photo of him smoking marijuana at a party at the University of South Carolina.
When you knew that picture was coming out, how did you feel?
Not too good.
This resulted in a 3-month suspension and cost him a coveted sponsorship deal with Kellogg's. The professional penalties were really not that severe, but Phelps' reputation really took a hit.
Calling his behavior regrettable, he said, "I acted in a youthful and inappropriate way."
The scandal became ubiquitous in pop culture, hanging over the public figure's status as his personal life garnered further controversy. It's hard to believe that such a celebrated athlete may never completely outpace this scandal.
You know, I think the best thing is you know, learn from your mistakes, and you know, it's already what I've done. And
Number 12, Chris Brown. R&B fans once considered Chris Brown and Rihanna the dream celebrity couple. Then, they saw the extent of the former's volatile behavior. In 2009, TMZ acquired a police photo of Rihanna's face after a vicious assault by Brown. The circulation of this image of the beauty icon sparked a debate about the media's right to share such graphic details, but there was no debate about her ex-boyfriend's reputation.
That's all I kept thinking the whole time. When is it gonna stop? When is it gonna stop?
Brown's career and music were permanently associated with this visual of his abusive tendencies. He pleaded guilty to the assault and underwent domestic violence counseling, but has since faced many more ghastly scandals. It's unlikely that said R&B fans would forgive him after seeing that photo of Rihanna anyway.
I was wrong for what I did, and I would definitely say that it's not something that I look past or look over.
Number 11, Prince Andrew. A distinguished naval career and philanthropic businesses made Prince Andrew a star in the British royal family. Then, in 2011, Mail on Sunday published a 2001 photo of the Duke of York with his arm around a teenaged Virginia Giuffre. This marks the beginning of the human trafficking survivors' fight against the woman in the background, Ghislaine Maxwell, and the photographer Jeffrey Epstein.
It's been since given to the FBI, and he needs to stop with all of these lame excuses.
Andrew spent the next 11 years dealing with scandal, legal battles, and fallout from a misguided interview with Newsnight in 2019.
Your response?
I have no recollection of ever meeting this lady.
Finally, he was stripped of all royal duties and exiled from the public eye. If the late Giuffre's accusations and the implications of that photograph are true, that is nowhere close to true justice.
You've seen the photo?
I've seen the photograph.
How do you explain that?
I can't.
Number 10, Kate Moss. British supermodel Kate Moss built her career appearing in prestigious fashion campaigns and iconic magazine covers.
People really look up to what she's wearing and look to her, as an icon.
Kate Moss, I think, always looks good.
Everyone wants to look like Kate Moss.
However, in 2005, Moss made news for all the wrong reasons when the Daily Mirror ran front-page pictures of her engaging in substance use alongside a damning headline. This publication ignited a major controversy, resulting in Moss being dropped by major fashion brands including Chanel, Burberry, and H&M, with whom she held an estimated £4 million annual contract.
Nervous advertisers canceled Kate's contracts, and it looked like her career in fashion was over.
She was even investigated by the London Met Police, although all charges were eventually dismissed. The damage to her career may have been extensive, but Moss managed to weather the storm, bouncing back to the forefront of the industry in a matter of months.
Even if she did things in her life that weren't necessarily accepted
People are always willing to give you a second chance. The bottom line is she's a fantastic model and she sells clothes. Women respond to Kate.
Number 9. Chris Lee. While the damning picture in this case may pale in comparison to the others on the list, it nonetheless marked the end of this politician's career.
Before yesterday afternoon, Christopher Lee was known as an up-and-coming Republican congressman from New York. By yesterday evening, the two-term congressman was resigning amidst a cheating scandal on the internet.
In February 2011, a few months after winning re-election in a landslide, New York Congressman Chris Lee got ensnared in a scandal when it was revealed that he had solicited a woman on Craigslist. Despite being married, Lee had sent the woman a shirtless photograph of himself flexing his muscles and falsely portrayed himself as a divorced lobbyist.
He told the woman in emails he was a 39-year-old divorced lobbyist. Lee is actually 46 and married with one child.
This picture, as well as the messages the two exchanged, eventually got leaked to the website Gawker. Within hours of their release, Lee issued a public apology and resigned his congressional seat.
And just hours after this photo went viral, the congressman from the 26th district resigned.
Number 8. Bow Wow. If you ever needed a reminder not to trust everything on social media, this would be it. In May 2017, Bow Wow shared a picture that appeared to capture a typical day in the life of a celebrity.
So basically, I was traveling to New York, right? And I was on a commercial flight. So I saw a picture that I liked. It was my mood picture, so I posted it. I put travel day.
The post showed a luxury car parked beside a private jet on an airport tarmac, suggesting he was about to embark on a lavish trip. Initially, no one thought much of it, until hours later, when another picture emerged showing the rapper seated in economy class on a commercial flight.
Oh, you just posted a picture you like?
Yeah.
Well, what the hell's the problem?
Because the way it looked as if I was taking the big boy jet going to New York, and really I was on Delta.
Eagle-eyed fans quickly traced the original picture to the website of a VIP transport company. The gaffe sparked widespread ridicule on social media and portrayed Bow Wow as a very dishonest individual.
But you know a private jet means it's just for you, not for other people who can buy tickets to.
No. Well, they got this thing called JetSmarter. Are you up on that?
Number 7. Ed Milliband. Throughout history, several politicians have ruined their careers for a variety of shocking reasons. Corruption scandals, sex scandals, bigotry. However, for British politician Ed Milliband, his downfall came from a simple act many of us engage in daily: eating a sandwich.
If she's looking for a new challenge, she should try wrestling a bacon sandwich live on national television.
Back in 2014, while campaigning for local elections, Milliband, then Labour Party leader, was photographed eating a bacon sandwich. Granted, almost anyone would look awkward if caught mid-bite, but Milliband's depiction was particularly cringeworthy and quickly invited widespread ridicule.
They said his advisors stepped in. But I just imagine they stepped in and open wide, Ed!
As the 2015 general election approached, the image resurfaced on the front page of the tabloid The Sun, effectively overshadowing any substantive policies with mockery. Needless to say, Milliband lost the election and resigned as the Labour Party leader shortly after.
I don't think I lost with the bacon sandwich. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know how absurd that phrase sounds in itself?
Well, indeed.
I'm sorry I brought it up, but
the very fact I've got to say that, I lost for deeper reasons than that.
Number 6. Gary Hart. Rarely ever has a promising presidential bid crashed and burned as quickly as Gary Hart's.
I intend to seek the presidency of the United States in 1988.
Hart was the frontrunner for the Democratic presidential nomination in 1988, but his campaign was plagued by rumors of extramarital affairs. He vehemently denied these allegations, even challenging the media to follow him around and prove them. Well, they did in fact accept his challenge.
What we were doing there, Michael, was verifying the tip that he in fact was going to spend the weekend with Donna Rice, which we verified. And you can only do that by actually being there.
The press linked Hart to Donna Rice, a young woman seen spending the night at his house. Even worse, they unearthed a damning picture of Rice sitting on Hart's lap, with him wearing a shirt referencing a yacht they had partied on, aptly named Monkey Business. It didn't take long for Hart to suspend his campaign and drop out of the race.
I believe I would have been a successful candidate, and I know I could have been a very good president, particularly for these times. But apparently now we'll never know.
Number 5. Michael Dukakis. Following Gary Hart's withdrawal from the 1988 primaries, Democrats ultimately chose Massachusetts Governor Michael Dukakis as their nominee.
When the convention was over, and I saw the big lead that Dukakis had, obviously I thought it was going to be pretty tough for the vice president. However, Dukakis is untested in a national campaign. This other guy is tested.
Despite running an impressive primary campaign, Dukakis' abysmal bid for the White House was met with a resounding defeat. This was due to various shortcomings, notably the now infamous tank photo. Having been portrayed by Republicans as weak on crime and defense issues, Dukakis sought to bolster his tough image by posing in a military tank.
And so someone came up with the idea that Mike Dukakis should be shown in a military posture.
However, this backfired spectacularly, as the photograph, depicting Dukakis in an oversized helmet with his name splashed across, was exploited by his opponent and widely ridiculed.
It became a symbol of the ineptitude of the campaign. It became a laughingstock.
Today, even Dukakis himself concedes that the tank photo was a huge misstep. Number 4. Vanessa Williams. In September 1983, Vanessa Williams made history as the first African-American to win the Miss America title.
And our new Miss America is Vanessa Williams, Miss New York.
She fulfilled her duties gracefully until just before the end of her reign, it was revealed that explicit images of her would be published in Penthouse magazine. The pictures were taken in 1982, when she worked as an assistant for a photographer, who led her to believe they had been destroyed.
Racy nude photos she had posed for years earlier were sold without her permission to Penthouse magazine. She turned to her parents.
I said, I don't know what's going on, but I'm sorry. We have no idea what's going to happen.
Even before their publication, the Miss America organization pressured Williams to resign, subsequently awarding the title to the first runner-up. Williams faced severe ridicule in the media, and for a while, it seemed her career was over.
The heightened spectacle and circus of it all was kind of crazy. I had people that were saying, fight for the crown, and people chanting, don't give it up, don't secede.
Nevertheless, she managed to rebound, establishing a successful career as a versatile entertainer. Number 3. Al Franken. He first gained recognition as a comedy writer and cast member on Saturday Night Live, but it appears sometimes Al Franken's jokes might cross certain boundaries.
That was ugly.
It was ugly. It's an ugly year.
While serving the U.S. Senate in 2017, Franken faced accusations of sexual misconduct from radio broadcaster Leanne Tweeden. These allegations gained further traction when a compromising photograph emerged, showing Franken with his hands positioned above Tweeden's breasts.
We rehearsed the line, and I'm coming towards him, and he comes up and he grabs me and he puts his hand behind my head, and he aggressively comes in and he mashes his mouth up against mine and he sticks his tongue in my mouth.
According to the senator, this was intended as a joke.
I turned my head away every time. I never was alone with him again for the rest of the tour. I made sure that I was never alone in a room or anything with him again.
While the accusations were still being investigated by the Senate Ethics Committee, several Democratic senators called for Franken's resignation. He ultimately succumbed to pressure and stepped down from the Senate, a decision he now regrets.
Nevertheless, today I am announcing that in the coming weeks, I will be resigning as a member of the United States Senate.
Number 2. Anthony Weiner. Some people just never learn from their mistakes.
Everyone, it seems, is piling on.
Let me finish my thought, madam.
Even at his own campaign events. This confrontation came at his most recent stop.
Had I conducted myself in the manner in which you conducted yours, my job would have been gone.
Anthony Weiner represented New York's 9th Congressional District and was viewed by some as a rising political star. However, in 2011, Weiner dug himself into a hole and never found his way out. The congressman used his public Twitter account to share a link to a suggestive picture of himself, but initially denied responsibility.
This whole thing would just go away if you just answer a couple really basic questions, right? Did you send the tweet? Is that a photograph of you? And why not call for an investigation?
The answer is I did not send that tweet. My system was hacked. I was pranked.
Faced with insurmountable evidence, he confessed and resigned from office. Yet this wasn't the end of Weiner's troubles. He resurfaced to run for New York City mayor in 2013, but encountered another setback due to yet another sexting scandal. In 2017, he was implicated in a third scandal, ultimately receiving a 21-month prison sentence for engaging in explicit communication with a minor.
Anthony Weiner had nothing to say as he left the courtroom, his plea for probation, no jail time, having fallen on deaf ears. He cried when Judge Denise Coates sentenced him to 21 months, sinking into his chair seemingly inconsolable.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Kathy Griffin. Donald Trump has divided public opinion ever since he first announced his presidential candidacy in June 2015, but nearly everyone came together in condemnation of this horrifying stunt.
But when you do something like that, I really did just try to make a statement. And I truly didn't think people would think it was an actual severed head.
In May 2017, months after Trump's inauguration, comedian Kathy Griffin posted a graphic image online in which she held a bloody mask that closely resembled the then president. The backlash was immediate. Criticism filtered in from both sides of the political divide.
Within hours of the picture going public, a torrent of backlash.
Left, right, and center turned on me. Everyone turned on me.
As a result, Griffin took the picture down and apologized, but the damage was already done. She lost multiple business deals, was fired by CNN, and had to cancel her upcoming tour dates. Griffin eventually retracted her apology and reposted the controversial photo on the day after the 2020 presidential election.
Griffin would retract the apology, calling the fallout faux outrage.
I realized the outrage and the pearl clutching really was.
What are some other photos that incriminated celebrities in the court of public opinion? Break the story in the comments.
My biggest probably fear was to tell my parents.